Virat Kohli's return to the domestic circuit after more than a decade has created some real buzz among the fans, and DDCA is making some special preparations ahead of the match. That is precisely why I'm here with DDCA President Rohan Jaitley. Mr. Jaitley, thank you so much for speaking to us. But before we get to all the preparations, I really wanted to ask you what your reaction was when you were communicated about Virat Kohli's presence in this match.
See, it is always a welcome day when we have stalwarts like Virat and in the previous game Rishabh come back and play for the state, because it's not just them showing their commitment towards the state which is home for them, but also it is a process in which they're also hand holding the youngsters who are coming up. So the players who are a part of the squad right now and a part of the team is a much younger generation than what most of them have played with earlier on. So when they come in today and are playing for the state with a younger team and youngsters who are actually very young in the as professional cricketers, and when they end up sharing a dressing room with a stalwart like Virat, it's a very different exposure that they all achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we talk about this preparations, we've heard a lot, stands being opened up. What are your expectations when it comes to fans? Because a lot of people are going to want to see Virat Kohli.
So what we've done is our stadium is always game ready, so we can host games at a few days notice. So today we are ready to host around 10,000 spectators if the need arises. We can increase the number and decrease the number as the demand may be. As of now, we're opening 2 spectator stands, and if the need arises, we'll access out to the other areas. And it's a complimentary access, it's free entry. Anyone and everyone is welcome to come and watch the game, and it'll be a good game to watch in the city, because domestic circuit games are not heavily spectated in stadia, but this is one game where we feel that there is a demand and where we would have certain footfalls in a house.
When we talk about the infrastructure, when I look at this stadium now, I've been here throughout the years and we've seen a real transformation. When we talk about spectator experience of any game really, what has been your vision when it comes to that?
See, our idea has always been that someone who comes into the arena to watch a game should have a great experience, not just about the game, but the overall ambience, the convenience, the amenities, the facilities, the egress into a facility. You don't want to come into a stadium and get bullied around, that you're getting pushed around outside a gate, your ticket is not working, you're standing in a washroom queue and they're filthy, the food is unedible, the water is not available. No, those are a thing of the past, if at all that used to happen. But at least ever since I have been involved with the administration here, we've been very clear that hygiene and hydration is the core of the basis, and you saw this with the BCCI hosting the World Cup 2 years ago, and in that you saw that there was complimentary water being provided at all the venues. The horse that we ensured that there are conveniences in place where people know there are facilities that exist. You had multi-brand options available in terms of F&B, beverages, hydration. You had water around the arena which was completely complimentary. So we are now at a stage where it's not just about the game that's being played on the field, it's also about the overall 360 in the stadium, which people are paying for, and they deserve to get the same.
Absolutely. Going forward into the future, your vision as the president of DDCA, when it comes to obviously spectators, the experience, the infrastructure, but also grassroots level development, because what I am interested to know is what is DDCA doing differently for their grassroots athletes?
See, what we've done is we have now, over the last few years, we've inculcated a under 16, under 19 age specific league. So we have about 80 clubs of us that participate in these leagues. This year onwards, we started a women league on the club. So this is all club cricket that we're talking about. This year we have started a women league in the club level. where even if to begin with we have about 15 teams to participate, that means you have a close
Lots
to
of
about
players.
175 players who
Yes.
would be participating. We started with the Delhi Premier League last year. We've got 6 men teams and 4 women's teams. So it's been a good step forward. Today, in fact, we are facilitating the under 23 women's team that won the T20 tournament for the BCCI. And I would say that Delhi Premier League Women Edition with the DRS system was a great exposure on the women's side
Absolutely.
for them to be able to achieve and win a tournament of the board today. Future is mostly about a new infrastructure. How do we enhance the infrastructure, put a new arena in place? We're planning something extremely futuristic. So once we're able to get something concrete in place, we would actually give a detailed, elaborate release about the same. Leaving that aside, what we're trying to do as a grassroots level for the players also is to set up high performance centers. High performance centers is going to be the game changer in a way that they're not academies where players are going to be learning the basics. But when you are a player and you're above a certain threshold, you would be identified by the talent scouts, and you would be put into a training facility that would be manned, coached. You would have rehab, physio, everything available that's required by a player, and it's mostly for the purposes of them, of players of a certain quality training together 12 months a year, who will then thereon go forward and represent in the state somewhere.
Okay, well, that's all I wanted to know from this interview. Thank you so much for speaking to us. We're all looking forward to the match
Yes.
on the
Thank you.
30th of January. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.